What's up, guys? This is Jordan with Infinite Mastery, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to take control of your life. I believe in the world today there's a huge problem. Society has taught us that there are limitations, and there's certain things that we can and can't achieve. I think too often we get caught up in the routine. We find days where we're unmotivated. Even if you work hard though, staying inspired to do more seems difficult at times. But when you can break down your limiting beliefs and barriers, you can stop holding yourself back, and you begin to see that the impossible is in fact possible for you. So guys, really the whole point of this is to help you work towards your goals and dreams, and really help you identify some things that you could do that may be holding you back from getting there. So I'm just going to give you two simple tips, and the first one is stop telling yourself lies. And what I mean by that is society has created these limiting beliefs. And there's things that we believe about ourselves and about the world that shapes what we do. So I've just written down a few things we can go through and talk about them a little bit. But let me just read here some limiting beliefs that I've put down. So one might be, I'm not good enough. I don't belong. I don't have control over my life. You believe that your life won't get any better. That you're nothing special. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I could never be as good as that person. And I have no gifts or skills to offer the world. So these are just a few examples of some limiting beliefs that, as humans, we believe in. And society has kind of created this thing where those things are true for us, maybe not for other people, but there are certain things that need to be changed in order for us to be successful. Everyone is faced with this problem of self-limiting beliefs, but there's people all throughout the world that have achieved great things. For example, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Henry Ford. Those are just a few examples of people who have done amazing, great things that have shaped the world to what it is today. So we do see people that change the world and influence thousands and millions of people, but we tell ourselves often that we could never be that person, or we could never do that thing. And that's where we hold ourselves back. This is an example of a limiting belief. Limiting beliefs are those that constrain us in some way. They often are about ourselves, about other people, about our self-identity, or just the world in general. So we often have limited self-images of what we can and can't do. So for example, if I think I cannot sing, which is a belief about myself, then I'm never going to try, or I'm not going to go to singing lessons to improve my ability. This is the crux of many I can't statements. We believe our abilities are fixed and that we cannot learn them or prove upon them. So with that being said, we want to make sure that we're reinforcing our minds with positive thinking, something that can reprogram our minds to think differently about those self-limiting beliefs. Because if we don't change them, then they're going to continue to affect us throughout the rest of our lives. And we'll reach a ripe old age and look back and realize that we didn't really achieve the things that we wanted. And it will be disappointing for us. And I just want to help you guys to be able to do that. So here I have a few on my list. And I do believe these things. I know that these things are true. That you are good enough. You can accomplish the things that you want in your life. You do belong. You do have control over your life. There's certain things that you can do, and there's certain things that you do have control over. And we'll go over those things in just a moment. Your life will get better. If you're in a tough place right now, you have to believe that it will get better. And if you don't, then you're attracting things that are going to make your life worse. And that's not what you want. You're very special and unique. We've all been given gifts, abilities, and talents that are here to benefit others. And if you think that you don't have something special, well, let me tell you, you do. There's something that you have to offer the world that people need. And if you can change that mindset, then I know that will help you discover that thing that you're looking for. You do have the time. A lot of times we use the excuse, we don't have time for this, we don't have time for that. But in all reality, what are we doing with the extra time we have when we're not working or we're not busy? Are we watching TV? Are we playing video games? Are we hanging out and spending too much time with friends. All of those things, if managed correctly, we'll actually find that we have a lot of time on our hands that we could use to be more productive and actually have time to engage and spend time on our hobbies, interests, and passions, and things that you wanted to achieve throughout your life. Another thing is you have amazing God-given gifts and talents that you can offer to the world. I know that that is true. I really do believe that every single individual has something special about them. So these are just a few beliefs that can be reprogrammed and changed within your mind so that you can no longer have this barrier or this wall in front of you that's stopping you from getting where you want to be. I know that that can happen. I've done it for myself. I'm still definitely improving, but I've been able to change those limiting beliefs and block out all the critics that are out there in the world. And I've been able to reinforce these in my mind, and I actually believe these things about myself, and I want that same belief to be in you. So now that we've touched on step 1, stop telling ourselves the lies, overcoming self-limiting beliefs, I want to go into tip 2. Tip 2 is control what you can control, and don't worry about the rest. You get to decide who you want to be. It's completely up to you. You're the only thing holding you back from what you want to become and achieve in your life. So what I've done is I've put together a bit of a list, some things that we can't control and can control, to help identify maybe some things in your own life that you're struggling with that may help you identify those things. So I've made a little list here about 15 things. What we can't control. We can't control natural disasters. We can't control the economy. Gas prices, traffic, God's will, weather, growing old, physical and mental limitations, getting a disease, the past, what others say, what others do, what others think about you, and what others feel. So those are just a few things. You can go back and go over those things that I just said again and write down those things that you may be worrying about or may stress you out about your life, and write them down. And once you've written them down, then it helps you be more aware of when a moment like that comes up. You can be like, oh, look, this is something that is out of my control. And when you identify that's out of your control, you're able to let go. And so that will decrease the amount of stress you have in your life, the amount of worry you have, and really help you use the focus and the energy you have to put that towards what you can control. So let's just go over a few things here. I've made a list of about 8 things that I think that are in our control to an extent. Some things more so than others, but for the most part they are. I just want to touch on a few things too with each one. So the first one is attitude. We all have control over our attitude. And our attitude starts obviously with our thoughts. Our thoughts can be changed. But having a positive attitude about the things we do, whether we like doing them or not, can really change the way we feel and the way that we progress towards our goals. Attitude is really everything, and it's something that we can control regardless of what happens around us. The second thing is effort. We can control how much effort we put into something. I know with jobs that I've had, I can control how many hours I put in and how hard I work on that particular thing. So that is something that we can control. Some things that we can't control maybe is, how much we're paid. Maybe it's what happens around us, what happens at work, what happens with the business, changes that happen within your work. Those things that may not be able to be in your control, but you can control how hard you work and the effort you put in. And that effort that you put in, if you give it 100%, no matter what happens, you'll feel satisfied in what you've done. The third thing is focus. We can control what we focus on. If we're spending too much time watching TV, playing video games, hanging out with friends too much, anything that may be wasting our time or things that we don't feel are very productive, we can refocus our minds to things that we want to focus on. And it's not always an easy decision, but if we do it and recognize the satisfaction that comes from that and the fulfillment, then that will be a motivator to help us do that thing again and push away all those other distractions. We can control our mood. Now, a lot of people think that you can't control your emotions, and sometimes it's very difficult. We're not perfect. But when it comes to your mood, you have the ability to choose how you feel. If something happens that makes you angry, someone pulls in front of you when you're on the highway, or if you're driving around, whatever it may be, you have the choice whether to be mad at that person or just to let it go. And it's easier for some than others, but that's something that you can train yourself to do, to kind of just let those things go. It's out of your control. You couldn't do anything about it. And so it's better just to continue having a positive and happy mindset rather than getting upset about it and affecting your entire day. The next thing is motivation. Now, motivation is partially something that you can control. Obviously, you can have greater motivation the more you absorb yourself in motivational quotes around people who are inspiring you, focusing on things that are uplifting. Those things can help you have a better chance of deciding to be motivated. Obviously, if you're surrounding yourself with bad people, people putting you down at work, whatever it may be, that may make it more difficult for you, but in some respect, you do have control over the motivation you have towards your goals and dreams. The third to last thing is use of your time. So I have touched on this already, but using your time effectively, you can choose what you use your time for. And that's something that you will always have control over, and time is of the essence. We don't have much of it. And so if we can refocus ourselves on the time that we're spending on maybe a distraction or a meaningless activity, then we can change that and spend time on things that are fulfilling and that help us feel content. The second to last thing is friendship. Now, we don't have complete control over friendships, but we do have control over how we treat others, who we talk to, who we make friends with, or who we try to be friends with. And those people that we surround ourselves with are very important because that helps us push us towards those goals and the things that we want to do in life. The last thing is learning. We have the ability to choose how much we learn. We can read books on nonfiction, or we can read books on fiction. If we immerse ourselves in things that are in the self-development, improvement, skills, talents that we can improve and develop, then we're going to be able to be more fulfilled in life. And the feeling of progression that I talked about in my last video, when you are progressing, you feel more fulfilled. You feel a greater energy to change more things in your life. So these are just some things that I can touch on in terms of what you can control. I would encourage you to ponder on them and think about them. But that's about it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Please leave a like and a comment below. Let me know how things went, what you thought, any questions you had. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. But until next time, take care. Have a great day.